Hi, my name is Alice Cook. I'm 74 years old, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's on December 29, 2021. It's an interesting story. I'm a clinical social worker, and I heard an announcement on the radio about there was this boxing program that helped people with Parkinson's, and I thought, I may have a patient sometime about that. Let me file that away. The two biggest symptoms for me was some tremors, and the other thing was I would freeze. So they suggested that I go to a neurologist to see if there was something else going on. And he did an extensive evaluation and turned to me and said, "You have Parkinson's." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yes, you have Parkinson's." I happened to be going out that night with family, and I just cried. I just cried, not knowing what I was going to have to face, what it meant, or anything like that. So when my neurologist said, boxing, there's a program that may be helpful, and it may be something that you want to do, I kind of said, I reached back in my memory and said, "Oh, that's why I was saving that." So I started with 2 days a week and then eventually upped it to 3 and then hope to move to 4. So because it really does help. I knew nothing about what the numbers were on the bag or how you hit anything or the stance or ducking or anything. My family still laughs at me with the boxing gloves, but they still are amazed that I go. We were looking at doing some med changes recently, and I kind of said, let me do an extra day of boxing and see if that works. And the neurologist was really pleased about that. That's why I call it my medicine, because it's the medication and the boxing in combination, along with a little Tai Chi and some other stuff that really, I think, helps keep the symptoms at bay. I'm glad to come. Sometimes when I don't want to come and I come, I feel so much better when I get done, and I'm glad I did. I think it was when we were walking around the gym, they said, "Well, now you need to skip." Well, I couldn't skip. And then they talked later on about jumping, and I couldn't jump. And John kind of challenged me, my coach kind of challenged me and said, "Let's try." And so I tried, and I actually managed to do it, thinking that maybe I couldn't. And so now it's like every time you're here, you got to do it at least twice. So, I mean, I think of a warrior with the shield and the sword and the shin guards and everything else. And so I kind of feel like we're out there in the front row, slaying the germs and the lack of dopamine and making it come back in. So I think of that as a warrior, and I also think we're here in the front line. We need to do it. We need to do it for the next people coming on. We need to find a cure to Parkinson's. We need to really do it, and we've been given a gift by being able to have these classes done for us so that we can continue to be those warriors out in front. So it's like, yes, go, fight the battle, you got it. My name is Alice, and I am a warrior.